What up, what up, what up? Get in here. Come here. Hey, come here. Come here. Get tribal with you tonight. Coming up on tonight's edition of Good News Travel Fast.
What on earth happened to Jay Leno?
Oh, your poor face.
Look at my eye.
Damn! Put your glasses back on. Oh my gosh.
Jay Leno is all bruised up. The left side of his
I'm
face
sure it's fine.
is black and blue. His eye is swollen.
Jay Leno's back, you guys. He looks fine. Quite sure it's fine. Quite sure it'll all be fine. No, we're not going to talk about Jay Leno, obviously. But we can talk about illustrious returns, maybe. Or we could just talk about CU football and more of the same when it comes to whether or not Coach Prime will stay or go. And we can look ahead to the college football playoff. It's kind of an off night. It's a Wednesday. It's hump day. Yeah. Seems like it'll be a good time. What do you say? Not a good idea. Hold on. Let me find my open. Anyway, all that and more on tonight's edition of Good News Travel Fast. Let's go, guys.
And now it's time to play everybody's favorite game.
Good news. Good news.
We are putting that combination. Jesus Christ. We can't run.
Hey, we made it. We made it. It's hump day. You worked all day. You worked all the way to get to the end of the middle of the week. You did that. You did that. A round of applause for you. You're welcome. Good News Travel Fast. Fastest growing reaction channel on the whole entire interwebs. I am Warren Lamena. You are watching, of course, the Kill You With Truth Network. Kill you with truth, because why leave you alive only to lie to you? It's a work in progress. I'm trying to add some value from the marketing standpoint. How's your Wednesday been so far? Good? Mine was going great. My Wednesday was going awesome. And then I got on the internet. Well, I was on the internet all day, but I try to abstain from going on the social media websites, like the Instagrams and the Facebooks. I stick to Twitter because Twitter, currently known as X. Because, there's news and stuff going on there. It doesn't seem as much of a mind suck. It probably is, but it works for me. It's a news delivery platform. So anyway, I went over to Instagram. I forgot what I was looking for. And then I came across this, and it just wrecked me. I had a whole direction I was going to go. I was already going to go in this direction, but I didn't know this. Now, for those that don't know, Coach Prime has a couple of different shows that he is the center of. He obviously has the Coach Prime show that's on Prime Network, which is like behind the scenes, Hard Knock Life, day in the life type material. Worth the watch. And then he started this thing on Tubi, which is, it's like BET on steroids. Tubi is Black-centric programming. I don't have a problem with it. Although a lot of the shows, like, have you ever heard of Baddies Girls, the Baddies Club? A lot of Baddies Club action going on Tubi. I had sworn off Tubi for a while, but then they started. They played Sanford and Son. They play a lot of just African American, TV lore. And shout out to Tubi. Round of applause. No reason to hate. Anyway, Coach Prime has he's got a show on Tubi. It's a talk show called "I Got Time Today." I didn't have time for this. I always have time. I'm very blessed. My life is 1 in a million. I get to work from home, burgeoning business, self-starter, living on the East Coast, originally from Colorado. I have 3 beautiful daughters, all grown. The youngest is about to graduate from high school. I don't have a lot of complaints. But God damn it, there are just certain things that just twist my nipples. I love what's going on in Boulder. I will be back in the Mile High periodically. A couple things that I'm working on with a couple of buddies. People who you know well. I just love what's happening in Boulder, and I am so sick of hearing it bantied about how it's going to get torn asunder in lieu of some better place to stop. I was watching First Take earlier, and they're talking about just more of that Dion to Dallas shit, which I don't really even believe. You know what I mean? I think that that's more, I'm glad to be back. Throw this up there. Glad to be back. You think Dion's going to Dallas? Don't do it. Don't do it. I got hopes here. Now, it's good to be back, and I appreciate the welcome back, but God damn it, I don't think he's going to Dallas, and I can tell you why I don't think he's going to Dallas. I don't think he's going to Dallas because I don't think that what he does, to be quite honest with you, as much of a fan as I am of Coach Prime, I don't think that what he does works on on a pro level. You're talking about a whole different type of athlete and a whole different conversation and a whole different reception and a whole different way that all of this stuff would play out. At the NFL level, let me ask you guys this. Do you guys want Sean Payton, Bronco fan? Do you want Sean Payton to have his own reality show, his own talk show, his own line of glasses and jewelry? Or do you want him to coach the Broncos to nobody has, I don't think on the NFL level, the NFL, by the way, I do think there is a changing of the guard. College football is infinitely more exciting right now and more intriguing than the NFL product. Like if you're in Jacksonville, you're just some jackass in Jacksonville fan of the Jaguars. You don't have any hope. You don't have any hope that you're ever, that David's going to stand up one day, grab that smooth stone, put it in a sling, whirl that some bitch around his head, let it fly, nail Goliath right there between the, you know what I'm saying? Right between the eyebrow, the unibrow, fell the giant, experience, championship glory. You don't have any hope of that. Do you think Jets fan, no matter what they go, do you think Jets fan actually thinks they're going to win the fucking Super Bowl? No. In college football, though, the landscape's starting to change. It's just a more interesting proposition. And it's part of what I want to talk about today. Because I think that this college football championship could shake the world up faster than they could see it coming. Because of the 2 teams, that being CU and Indiana, that came out of nowhere, the outliers, that have mastered so far the new landscape of college football. I want to talk about that in a second. But I do want to put this Dion to Dallas, Coach Prime to Dallas conversation to bed. It just won't die. It's like the Terminator of nothing burgers. Because in my opinion, mainstream frontline media is lazy. And they need a story like Dion is coaching his son. He wants to go with Shador. And of course, Dallas. Do you see Coach Prime and Jerry Jones working out that meshing as far as personality goes? And the demands, I think, are different on the NFL level, even though I do think NFL is going to take a backseat here eventually to the college product. It's just not as compelling. No matter how many different little rule changes that they come up with, they've been trying to find a way to bring people back. I also saw some metrics that NBA viewership is drastically down this year. So it seems like all the way across the board, nobody really watched the World Series all the way across the board. For whatever reason, I think gambling has a lot to do with it. For whatever reason, you can't keep that enthusiasm that sports fan had for or has for the world of professional sport as already comes injected into college football. Because college football, yes, there's gambling still, but there is this want to be a part of something that 70,000 rabid fans, pile into a stadium to appreciate every Saturday or Thursday or Tuesday. God damn, they have games every night. There's an oversaturation on the pro side, whereas the college side still has this mystique to it, this collegiate fandom feel. And you could see just by how Black America and America in general, anybody who didn't have a place to park it, didn't have a seat at the table when it came to college football fandom, has seemingly found themselves on the Coach Prime bandwagon. And you know what? I'm not mad at it. Neither is Boulder. Anyway, Coach Prime to the NFL is going to keep being a story until I guess it's not. And I don't even know when it dies, when it goes away. He's not going to stop winning. I don't see that happening on the college level anytime soon. He's not going to stop winning. But the question will remain. And so on his, I open up, this started with me telling you about how I don't spend a lot of time on Instagram. I open up Instagram and lo and behold, this came across and smacked me in the nuts.
Yeah. Because let me get back into the sports realm. Mm-hmm. Your father, your son did the doggone thing. Like no
like
other.
your son doing the dog. Your two sons are doing the doggone
so tell me
thing.
this.
Yeah.
What would you do? You in my situation.
See, why you go do that, Prime? Why you do that to me for? Why you do that to me for? All this time we giving you all this, and then you go and stir the pot. Why?
Help them get to the next level.
Okay,
any way I can.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
But should it go past that, or
what do you mean past that?
Let him go to the NFL, continue to coach his son.
Hey, come on now. Why not? Especially if it's in a Raider uniform.
Now we all know who that is. That's Ice Cube. Biggest Raider fan in the nation. From LA to Oakland and out of Vegas. MC extraordinaire, got one of the coldest rap albums ever. America's Most Wanted. Attached to one of the most famed rap groups of all time, NWA. I ain't got no problem with Cube. But God damn it, man. Why y'all do this to me for? This and the McRib is why we can't have nice things. This is the biggest nothing.
Burger.
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 In my opinion. I could be wrong. Because, okay, let me let them finish.
Come on, baby. Oh, man, don't get me to acting a fool. You know what I mean? That would be a dream come true as a fan of the Raiders or a fan of you, just seeing you. Man, I'm proud of you, bruh. Like
that whistle, though. Don't nobody do it like Prime, bro. When it comes to flashing the high side, don't nobody do it like Prime.
What you've done.
Cube out here in a straight crew neck, all black crew neck. Coach Prime got a diamond studded whistle. The McRib's back, you guys. Deion and his former team, Michael Irvin, fifth largest TV market. See, why are you doing this? Why? Is it Dante? Is it don't. Dante X. See, don't. The McRib is back, Andon. By the time the end of the show comes, and if you guys want to follow me over to Good News Travel Fast when I'm done here, I'll go over there, and it gets a little wilder. It gets a little wider. I'm just letting y'all know. It gets a little obtuse on the GNTF side, so I can't bring some of that stuff here to my good man D-Max platform. But I'll go over there, and we'll fuck around, have some fun, talk some other news. The McRib is back, in case you guys are wondering. Oh, it's back. The fuck is a McRib? You know, when I grew up, I don't want to get too tough into this. When I grew up, our fruit had seeds in it, and ribs had bones in them. This is why we can't have nice things. We're not there yet, though. We'll get back to that. Keep stirring the pot there.
And with all the critics, and you know what they don't see that I know you're doing is making great human beings, great men.
Mhm.
You're turning these kids, you know, everybody talk about the glitz, the glamour, the NIL and all that stuff, but they not there every day when you talking to those kids and
Look at that. What's up? What's up? Yo, Craig, if anything happens, what's up?
changing minds and turning.
That's from Friday. Craig, if Stanley comes back, what's up? Man, I ain't trying to get involved with y'all. Or you gonna get involved. Or you gonna get your ass knocked out too. Make a choice. Man, hurry up.
Them into, you know, productive citizens, you know, outside of the game. And,
That's right.
And so, you know,
Has anybody listened to Ice Cube's new single? I can't play it on here. It was all right. It was all right.
you're a good dude. So I'm very.
Why the sunglasses inside, Cube? We still doing this? Hold on. Let me match my nigga Cube. Oh, sorry, Mac. Sometimes it slips, y'all. I apologize. Let me match my guy Cube's energy.
Very happy to see that you're working with youngsters and getting them to the next level in life or in sports.
So that means to stay in college. That's what you said.
That's what I took away from it, which I think is what he wants. Look at the style. Look at the life that he has. Look at the life. When I say he, I'm talking about Coach Prime. Look at the life that he has in this iteration. And now think of him trying to do this while coaching Dallas, the Raiders. Maybe the Raiders, you could pull it off. But Tom Brady and them don't want that. They want a champion there. This don't work. This don't sell on the NFL level. Because the minute the losses start rolling up, now you're going to be looking for a job again. I don't want to see me twice. Y'all don't want to see me twice. Keep going.
Huh?
Are you dropping hints right now?
No, I'm not.
His co-host, though. She used to be the 106th and Park girl, I'm pretty sure. She's, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Prime. I wouldn't tell you what to do, bro. You make all the
I like
greatest
your
decisions.
advice, though. I would like your advice.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the kids would love to keep you here. I'm pretty sure Colorado done made a lot of money.
A lot of money done got. Look at that whistle. There's been a lot of money made since Coach Prime touched down in Boulder. It's been a lot of money. A whole lot of money been made since Coach Prime touched down in Boulder.
You can see it, and you'd be a king.
And if I'm not mistaken, he keeps saying here. So I'm fairly sure that they're shooting this show in Boulder. You can't rewind on Instagram, but I'm pretty sure Cube keeps saying here.
Walking around the campus, and you know,
I do love it.
Yeah,
I love
I'm pretty
it.
sure.
He keeps saying I love it here. He keeps saying I love it here. So I'm pretty sure they're shooting Coach Prime's show in Boulder. We're all soft today. No bones or seeds. Yeah, Dante. When we grew up, watermelon had seeds in it. Now I used to complain about it. Grapes too. By the way, I'm just gonna throw this out there for y'all because I get on here and I love to have fun. But I just want to remind y'all, Life is real. Take care of yourselves. If you see, just understand this. If you see something in your grocery store and it says organic and it ain't got no seeds, it can't be organic. You know why? Organic means after its own kind. It means to have seeds, by the way. So I'm just saying, I've gone up to guys in Sprouts and been like, can I talk to y'all's manager? And dude thinks he's in trouble. It was an older black man. This was at the before I left Colorado, the Sprouts on Colorado Boulevard right there in Colfax. I'm like, I just want to holler at somebody. He's like, oh, I'm like, no, bro. I'm just trying to say, like, I want to know what the science is behind y'all saying that these are organic when it can't be organic if it don't have no seeds. And he was like, I never thought about that. And I'm like, yeah, it can't be organic if it can't produce after its own kind. Now there were a batch of seeds, seedless grapes out of somewhere in Italy that they kind of pioneered this whole seedless revolution. This is back in I want to say the 50s. And they were wine grapes, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you can't have no organic. So when somebody tries to sell you something organic and they say it's seedless and organic, those two things cannot exist within the same space. It is genetically modified. I'm just telling you. So don't let them sell you no lies. Prime seems like he's always looking to be the contrarian. You think this, I'm going to do that. He's always going to rebel and prove the consensus opinion wrong. I agree with that. I'm wondering, Andon, what you're saying is the consensus opinion, because I do agree that I think he's letting this thing simmer. I think he's letting this thing, because it's all good. It's all good promo for the entity that's Prime. And, you know, athletes, stars, high profile people love attention and praise. So I don't think it bothers him either that the conversation's out there. Now, it could affect recruiting, though, because your recruits want to know, if I'm signing up for the Coach Prime effect, I don't want to come to Colorado for the Coach Prime effect, and then you leave and leave me with whomever would follow. So you got to think about that. So I do think it's, and he tried to put it to bed the other day ago when he said, I got my kickstand, but he never says it directly. It's never been, I'm not going nowhere. He said, I'm comfortable. Comfortable don't mean that you might not get uncomfortable, though.
So, wherever you are, man, it's going to be great. Wherever you leave,
that ain't no joke.
People going to miss you, man. That's just it.
That was a bar. Wherever you are, it's going to be great. Wherever you leave, people going to miss you. That's just it. That is a bar, Q. Bar God.
What if he was at the Raiders?
Now,
it would be extra special.
As the president of the Raider Nation, you know what I mean? I do approve this message.
He approved this message.
Okay, I need your advice.
All right.
Because
So there was that. And I think it was all in good fun. He's doing the talk show. It's got to be entertaining. It's got to be in-depth. And it's being exculpatory. All right. So from that, we go to this. My hope, obviously, is that Coach Prime stays put. Now, you know what I know would help is if Coach Prime goes deep into what I believe will be CU's inaugural, but far from its last, college football playoff run. And when I say deep, I mean all the way to the national championship game. Win or lose. That would set a tone that would be, well, if you win it, that might be problematic because maybe he feels like, oh, I've done everything there is to do here, on to the NFL. I don't see that happening. But could. It's possible. Could be. It's possible. I also think that there's a quality of life and health part. Like, again, you see how comfortable he looks on the set of his talk show. You hear him talk about the campus and walk around the campus at University of Colorado Boulder. Like, I think that there's a quality of life standard that's not being taken into consideration in lieu of what people think is the smartest thing to do. Okay, let's go to a coach who is similarly having a whirlwind effect on a program that was often forgot about in college football conversations, not even thought about. We're talking about a basketball program that is now a football powerhouse. If you think about what I've heard is a war chest money-wise that can keep the winning going in the new landscape of college football. I'm building to a point, which is I can lay it out now, but I'm going to hold off. I have the best scenario for both CU Buffs fans and college football to expand the field of the playoff and keep this thing rolling and growing. But let's get to Curt Cignitti's viral rise. I found this interesting on ESPN.
Schedule being such a big talking point. If they have a big loss to Ohio State, do you see them bouncing all the way out of the top 12?
I think it's possible if it's a big loss. I was just thinking about this today because I kind of get put out with the people who, immediately, no matter what the committee says, they're outraged, they're disgusted. How can this happen? They don't know what they're talking about. Indiana has answered the questions that at least I deem important. Do you look like a playoff team? Have you handled your competition well? How often have you played at your best? And the only place they fall short is who have you done it against? So I do think the way they play against Ohio State will be important. And I don't foresee this happening. I think Indiana's a really good football team. But if they were to have happened to them by Ohio State, what, say, the Hoosiers did to Nebraska, beat them 56-7, then I think it calls into question some of the other things that we've seen, most notably, okay, who have you done this against? If you go and play well, and you just happen not to beat a team that I think is capable of winning the national championship in their stadium, then I think Indiana's a lot to make the playoff. I think it's far more likely than not that they will, regardless of what happens in Columbus. But the only scenario that I could see them, other than getting upset by Purdue or something ridiculous.
Whoa! Don't even put that out there. Don't even put that out there.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. I apologize. I apologize for that. If I may borrow from you, my friend, they didn't deserve that, so I apologize for that.
No problem.
But if they play well against Ohio State, I think they've looked like a playoff team from start to finish over the course of the season and deserve to be there. But that strength of schedule number is not one of the things that's going to help their cause.
Now, strength of schedule is good being held against Indiana.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Shut your damn mouth. I'm talking. Right? Strength of schedule is what's going to be held against Indiana. But what the effect that Coach Cignetti's had up in Bloomington is unmistakable. And I think it's, dare I say, prime-esque. And this, I'm not going to read all of it, but after about 2 hours, after 2 hours before kickoff against Michigan, Indiana fans line the walk, a path from Simon Skjodt Assembly Hall to Memorial Stadium that the team traverses before games. Two fans standing near the start of the walk wore T-shirts that read "Google Me" on the front and "Football School" on the back. The areas of the South Stadium were filled with and festive, which was nothing new. Indiana has a good tailgating scene before games. Getting those fans inside the stadium, meanwhile, has often been a chore. Curt Cignetti has changed that and just about everything at Indiana. He came in saying things that would make even the most ardent Indiana fans blush as crimson as their sweaters. But he backed up the bluster, not just winning games at a historic rate, but changing how people feel about Indiana football, where confidence is at an all-time high entering this week's clash at number 2 Ohio State. The article goes on to detail just how confident, brash, quietly Coach Cignetti is, and the pedigree that he follows in there. His father was a head football coach. He's coached under Nick Saban, had success, then taking on his own job at the same school in Pennsylvania that his father coached. Football's in his blood, and he knows what he's doing. He feels like the winning that they're experiencing when he came over from James Madison, brought over NIL transfers. Does this sound familiar? Had an AD and an alumni that believed in him enough to give him the type of war chest that could bring in more NIL players. Sound familiar? He's walking with a swag that's like, fuck with me. And dare I say, building something in Bloomington that looks a lot like, except for it's Bloomington, Indiana. I mean, let's be honest. Where is Bloomington, Indiana situated? Let's find out. Let's look at the map. Building something in Indiana that seems eerily familiar to what I think Buffs fan is experiencing. Bloomington, Indiana. Excuse you. Jesus. Pull it together. matter with you guys? Let's show some manners. Bloomington seems like a town in the middle of nowhere. I've never been, right? I know Calbert Chaney. I know Bob Knight. I know Indiana basketball. I don't know much. Okay, so it's Bloomington, between Bloomington and Naptown. I mean, it's in the middle of Indiana. Yeah. Looks like there's some rolling hills. Looks hilly. See if we can find anything that scenically shows Bloomington. I get lost down these rabbit holes every once in a while. And I don't type nearly fast enough to landscape. See if we can find anything. See how beautiful Bloomington is. I would imagine that, not bad. I mean, that's just top landscapers. No. Now I want to just see what it looks like. Bloomington, Indiana weather, population, students, I don't know, outdoor feel. Okay, there's a river. There's a river that runs through it. It seems like they've got trees. Come on, this place? It's no Boulder. Suffice it to say, it's no Boulder, Colorado. Boulder's like Palo Alto. You just don't have an ocean anywhere near. But apparently they got a ton of money. They got a shit ton of money, and they're not afraid to spend it. Anyway, I got lost down a rabbit hole. That is not the point. The point is, you know what would be great to just fuck shit up in college football? To have both of these teams, CU and Indiana, win their conference championship games. Have Indiana upset Ohio State this weekend. So I'm rooting for it because I'm all about seeing shit get bucked up. Because it's only better for all of us. It's better for all of us as college football, whether you're a hardcore college football fan or you're, peripheral. The best thing for college football is that you break up these Power 5 conferences and everybody jump into the same pool of 133, 134 teams with a top 60, I don't know, or so that are kind of slated for competition. And then that bottom third, that bottom half that is up for relegation and can come up depending upon the type of season you have and the way that you schedule. And you could do it regionally. You could still have divisions within that. But I think that until that happens, this is what I'll say to CU fan. Until that happens, my hope is that Rick George and Coach Prime and the University of Colorado tell the Big 12, you know what, see it. Because they're getting penalized. The problem with college football is that people are still worshiping the SEC and the Big 10. Despite how things actually play out on the field, they're still worshiping these programs because of the lore of the conference that they play in. So by virtue of that, then there's already going to be bias just going into seeding these squads and what the selection committee looks at and what they're going to pick from, what depends on strength of schedule. If you're an independent squad, and if I know Coach Prime like I know Coach Prime, it's similar to Notre Dame. I'll give Notre Dame this. Let's look at Notre Dame's schedule. I'll give Notre Dame this. As an independent, you know what Notre Dame has done that's always been impressive? They will schedule games against the best. One, they know that's the only way you're going to be in the conversation, right? The only way that you make yourself conversation eligible is if you have a schedule similar to, they open up with against Texas A&M. Yeah, you had Northern Illinois on there, but then they play pretty much a Big 10 schedule. Louisville, Stanford, Ja Tech, Navy, Florida State, Virginia. End with USC, that's always a rivalry game. They're going to have to play Army. This type of scheduling is what legitimizes them to me constantly, year in and year out. I hate Notre Dame, but I do appreciate the fact that they understand what the game is. You can't hang out there as an independent and not make yourself. And I know that they've taken on sort of a Big Ten schedule, and that's been probably about a decade almost gone. My point is this, is that if you're Colorado, you got to do that. You go independent, you get your own TV deal with Prime. Prime gets another Prime deal on behalf of Prime or on behalf of the University of Colorado at Boulder. But this year, my hope to just throw a wrench in this whole engine that is college football and its playoff system is that both of these teams play out the string, win out, face each other in the national championship game. And then it's a devil may care. I do want CU to win that, but I'm kind of like, I wouldn't want Coach Prime. First of all, both of these teams, I do believe, have enough offense to go up and stand in a, the thing about football is it's not usually about the best team. It's who's playing the best at the end of the season. And yes, there are certain aspects of the game but remember when Boise State beat who was that? Was that Bama? Or when Clemson finally climbed the ladder and it was an ACC team that became the powerhouse in college football? It just takes a good enough swing at it. You bring enough attention to. I'm just saying that in this day and age, with the portal, with the transfer portal and NIL, I mean, is there any question that there's? I can't say that I've watched all of FBS play, but I've seen enough of CU's receiving core to know that I can't imagine too many teams, and from what I have seen, that have a deeper receiving score at the skill position than CU has. Now, later on in the week, probably tomorrow. Oh, yeah, I'll have to do it tomorrow because I'm not on Friday. I'm going to get into this Kansas game. I looked at pretty much, I still have 2 games in their season to watch. Kansas could pose a problem, but I feel like this is a game that as long as the Buffs don't read their own press clippings, they'll go into that game against Oklahoma State with it all in front of them. And then you got to go week by week. You beat Oklahoma State, and now you're in the Big 12 championship, win out. I do believe that they have enough to beat a BYU team that I've seen enough of their film. It's like, yeah, they run the ball. They play good defense. If you can't score 4 touchdowns, you're not keeping up with this Buff squad. And when you look at Indiana, they look like a team is similar. If you can't score with them, you're going to be hard-pressed to stop them. Now, we'll see what Ohio State has. And is this just going to be big brother slap it down little brother? They'll fuck up my little premise if they stumble. But you heard Reese Davis. As long as they play it close, they'll get into the playoffs. You get into the playoffs, you got a shot. And if you got a shot, that means I have a shot at my dream, which is all really that matters here, right? All we're really talking about is that the things that I want to see happen. Right? We're all on the same page, right? Of course, the conversation is going to continue as to whether or not Coach Prime will even be around to see my dream out. ESPN's going to ESPN. They got to have something to talk about, right? Seems like NBA ratings are tanking. NFL interest is maybe not at an all-time low, but it's just kind of like meh. And it's just not sexy enough to them yet to just have a powerhouse built in Boulder or it seems like everybody's gravitated towards Bloomington because it's a cute story to tell. We'll see how long that lasts. What I am going to do, though, before I get out of here, I want to tell you guys why we can't have nice things. You know why we can't have nice things? We can't have nice things because we're just not thinkers. Does anybody who rushes to McDonald's just stop and ask themselves just a real basic question? Like, hopefully before you take the first bite, but maybe even after. Before you have barbecue sauce dripping down the corner of your, you know what I mean? Ribs have bones in them. Ribs are bones. This sandwich has no bone in it. Do I expect them to take a rib and slap it like a bone and slap it in the middle of 2 pieces of bread? No, I don't. What I do expect for you as a consumer to do, though, is just ask yourself certain questions. Especially if you eat beef ribs. But if you eat pork ribs, there's never that much meat on the bone, right? And it's not chewy. Have you just bothered to ask yourself, what the fuck is in this sandwich? And why am I addicted to it? Why do they have a way of bringing it out every, I don't know, 2 years or so? And I'm Pavlovian. As soon as somebody says McRib, some of y'all start drooling, just like, oh, Homer, like, oh. Now, I'm no snob. Every once in a while, my McDonald's go-to meal, 2 regular hamburgers, extra onions, extra pickles, extra ketchup. Give me some fries. Hopefully they're not, they're a fresh batch, because McDonald's fries, while they're the best fresh, they change into a whole other after they've sat for a while. When I call this a cheat meal, I'm talking about cheating death. Oh, it's a cheat meal, all right. And a Coke. Yeah, I'll do it. Apple pie. Yeah, give me 2. Don't eat no McRibs, y'all. You don't have to do that to yourself. It doesn't have to happen. And I'll tell you this, McDonald's will stop putting out this mystery meat sandwich the minute they say the McRib is back, and people stop rushing to go get it. The McRib is awful. You got to take a day off work. I agree. The McRib is awful. And it's really how it chews. Now, it's been a while since I've had a McRib. I'm not going to sit here. Who among us has not traveled down the sullen path, the walk of shame path of scurrying off to the McDonald's late night and grabbing a McRib? Who among us? But I was younger. I had a different constitution. Just stop it. All of y'all. I beg you. However long it takes them to sun dry that vat of what used to be of meat and whatever other animal product. That's why it comes out every 2 years. They got to let it sit and congeal. It has to sit, congeal, almost like wine. It sits, it congeals, and then when it's ready, ding, they roll it out. And it's not like the mystery meat that you'll have in what's the mystery meat on the roll? The half lamb, half beef mystery meat that comes on a roll. I keep wanting to say falafel. Meat wine. Yes, it's like a fine synthetic wine. Somewhere under the corporate headquarters of McDonald's, there are giant vats of this meat. There's a slime. Have you ever seen? I'm about to ask this audience. Have you ever seen Farrakhan? There's a slime in the burger. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it before I get out of here. There's a slime in the burger. Farrakhan slime in the burger. There's a slime in the burger. Does he say it? Oh, come on. Burger slime, most fattest. Whoa. What? We'll have to do this over on the other channel. Oh, well, wouldn't you know? The Rubin Report. Wow, that's a young day Rubin. Holy crap, he doesn't even have the hair or nothing.
products that would be sold at the cheapest form for dogs.
Okay, so you guys are on YouTube right now. I don't want you to click away, but you can.
All right, no, we're gonna have to go do this on the other channel. I promised Mac that I'll only talk about sports here. I promised Mac we'll only do sports here. If you want to hear about slime and burgers and other thoughts that are all Good News Travel Fast, you have to meet me over at goodnews_travel fast over on YouTube. I'll be over there in about 10 minutes or so. Just go over there, goodnews_travel fast. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button so that you'll get notifications whenever I go live. We have fun over there. We talk about sports, yeah, for sure. And I talk about other things. You know, if you have a wide assortment of tastes that don't include peak slime, that's where we're overdoing it. Not overdoing it. I'm over there doing it. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. I really do. This has been so much fun. We're off to a great start. And there's just more to come. I will see y'all sometime on this, tomorrow, same time, same bad channel. And then over the course of this weekend, we'll be doing more sports stuff over here with you, kill you with truthers. Anyway, I hope you had fun. I know I did. Andon, Dante, stop it. Do me a favor, brother. I like you, man. I don't know you, but I like you. Quit talking that bullshit. All right, y'all.
And now it's time to play everybody's favorite game.
Good news. Good news.
We are talking about combination. Jesus Christ. We can't run.